Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhirya Jatraha Sthairairangeis Tushtuvagum Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitanyadayuhu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, O gods, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. O ye adorable ones, may we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we sing praises to ye and enjoy with strong limbs and body the life allotted to us by the gods. Om, peace, peace, peace. He especially projected that excellent form, righteousness. This righteousness is the controller of the strong. Therefore, there is nothing higher than that. He especially projected that excellent form, righteousness. This righteousness is the controller of the strong. Therefore, there is nothing higher than that. Even a weak man hopes to defeat a stronger man through righteousness. As over a king, that righteousness is verily truth. Therefore they say about a person speaking of truth, he speaks righteousness. Or about a person speaking of righteousness, he speaks of truth. For both these are but righteousness. This righteousness is called Dharma. It's like honey to all beings, and all beings are like honey to this righteousness. So with the shining, immortal being who is in this righteousness, and the shining, immortal being identified with the righteousness in the body, in every one of us. These are but the self. This self, self-knowledge, is the means of immortality. This underlying unity is what is called Brahman. This knowledge of Brahman is the means of becoming all. Nothing is indeed higher than Dharma. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ramakrishna Monastery and Happy Easter. Today is a special day. We are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus in our hearts. So let us all honor Jesus with this topic, the universal order that we should become aware of. There seems to be order in everything, and that order is called righteousness. Because order is what is right, and that is universal. It is universal because, by common sense, everybody chooses the mold, the structure of values. These values are exercised by the human choice. It is this free will that allows us to choose, that demands some kind of control. It is this free will that demands some kind of control. A human being is given a free will, but at the same time, he's not given a basis to control that freedom. Where there is freedom, there is the possibility of abuse. Abuse becomes obvious by our own conscience from within. One knows. We know when we do something wrong. That is a self-control system that is exercised by the mature and evolved human being. The self-control system. This self-control system is the mold, the structure, the matrix of values. The simple definition for these values is what I expect of others or expected of me by others is clearly known by everyone. Don't you think? It's obvious. But it's our choice to disregard it or to follow it. It is our free will and the use of it that will make the difference. What I expect of others or expected of me by others is clearly known to everyone. That is why it is universal. We all have this faculty to know an object through our senses. This faculty is given to us as well as the object. The faculty to know. To know something, the known becomes an object for a human being. Do you follow me? To know Dharma, Dharma must be an object as well. Say, wait a minute. Dharma, righteousness, is an object. Well, you know. And because you know it, it must be an object of your knowledge. We all commonly have a sense of Dharma, and that means it exists. Nobody sees it, but it exists. There is this faculty and an object given to us to know, like gravitation, electricity. Do you see it? Yet, you know it's present. You can infer it. Like gravitation is a force nobody has seen, but nobody can deny its presence. What is gravitation? A law. It is what it is. We all know it. Every bird knows it. Nobody can miss the presence of gravitation. We sense it because it's present. The force of gravitation is a manifestation of that absolute reality. It must be. Because it's our experience. It's a manifestation of that absolute reality, the law. Like an object of knowledge, we can sense Dharma, righteousness. It is beautifully expressed in our Upanishads. Dharma is a manifestation of what we call Ishvara. Ishvara is what we call God. our perception of that absolute reality with a name, with a shape we can give it. It's called Ishvara. And Dharma is its manifestation. Which means we know Dharma. How do we know it? Well, do you like to experience pain? Ask anybody if he or she likes to be hurt. What is the common answer? No, thanks. Do you like to be robbed, abused? No. We know Dharma. We know what is right. We know God. It's very subtle, but it's real. It's present. That is why it is universal. We all have this faculty to know an object through our senses. This faculty is given to us to know something. To the known has to become an object for any human being. There is a sense of Dharma universally followed by all mature people, grown-ups. They understand because it's the law. It's a law because it's sensed by all, and that itself is Dharma. The fact that even though we don't see it and we don't know it, it exists, is a manifestation of that grand law of what we call Ishvara or God. Therefore, for God's sake, I can't do the opposite of Dharma. I can't do unrighteousness. I can't do adharma, because Dharma is God. In fact, we sense God in the form of Dharma, as I said before. To go against Dharma is to go against the law. To go against the law, we go against ourselves. We go against God. Very basic, huh? Yet so difficult to practice. So difficult to take it in, to make it yours. It's so obvious. This is a spiritual life. Just one thing is needed. Just practice this. This is the means to Brahmajnana, the knowledge of the self. Without Dharma, you cannot know yourself. Dharma becomes the means. The natural law is the means to know yourself. It is necessary for all human beings to acknowledge it, to acknowledge Dharma as the only means to control our freedom. You have this freedom to choose. You know that, right? How do you control your freedom? Does anybody have to come and say, no, you shouldn't do that? You know. That knowledge doesn't come from outside. It comes from within you. and is always present with you. Simple, yet difficult to practice. Why? Well, we all fall in love. We want. Desires at any cost, including yourself. You compromise your values. You compromise who you are. And therefore we suffer. We lose ourselves. And nobody's coming here to tell you what is right and what is wrong, or to call you sinners. You know it. It is necessary, therefore, for all human beings to acknowledge Dharma as the only means to control our freedom. My freedom ends when your freedom starts. It is something that is present in every self-conscious being. It is something that is present in every self-conscious being. What are you? Self-conscious beings. You can't deny it. Because God gave us that freedom, the freedom to choose. And what is right can only be expressed in freedom. Therefore, Dharma is the orderliness inherent in the universe and within human life. Dharma is the orderliness inherent in the universe and within every one of us. Dharma is the ethical and moral framework rooted in the cosmic order, essential for purifying the mind and gaining what we call self-knowledge, and ultimately attaining the goal of life, moksha, or liberation. Liberation doesn't mean that you're going to go to some other place, fantastic place outside this world. Liberation means to know yourself and to know others as yourself. Let's talk about Dharma and the so-called self-knowledge, as I mentioned. Because the goal of life is to know ourselves and be free. Be free of what? Stop looking for in the outside what we truly want. To be fulfilled, to be complete. And we only stop doing that when we know ourselves. That is all within us. It's not outside, it's within us. The role of Dharma is indispensable for this pursuit of self-knowledge. I like to quote this because it's based on our scriptures. Dharma is not separate from this spiritual inquiry, who am I? But it is a prerequisite. A prerequisite. Without Dharma, without following what is right, without honoring this law, it's very difficult to find the answers. Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? Dharma is the foundation for spiritual growth, ethical conduct, and harmonious living, ultimately leading to self-knowledge. Para Brahman swato dharmanishtam. Our scriptures are broadly classified in two parts. The first part is called Veda Purva. And the final is called Brahma Shastram. The first part is also called Dharma, and the second, Brahma. One can never ignore any one of them and try to assimilate or understand or internalize the other. To understand Brahma thoroughly, one has to be the embodiment of Dharma. To understand who you are, you have to let go and surrender, submit to the law. Then you will know yourself. Both are complementary. We start with Dharma and we end up in Vedantic language with Brahman. Dharma, Brahma, Dharma, Brahma, Dharma, Brahma. At the absolute level, there is only Brahman, the absolute reality. At this empirical level, there is what we experience, duality. At the absolute level, there is unity. At the empirical level, what we see and experience is duality. The order or harmony in this dualistic empirical world is called Dharma. The order or harmony in this dualistic world is called Dharma, righteousness. A mature conscious being is one who is all the time aware of this orderliness and is in harmony with the world. The awareness of the universal harmony, conforming to the universal harmony, and leading a life in keeping with the harmony, this harmony is called Dharma. So what do you get out of this? First, Dharma. First, follow the law. When one has devotion to Dharma, called Dharmanishta, has faith in Dharma, the response to every situation will be nothing but value. Once a person understands the importance of this universal harmony or order, his or her life will be a life of contribution and joy. A life of contribution and joy. Dharma means order. Dharma means the Lord or Ishvara. Dharma means God. Dharma means the ultimate reality because it's coming from Him, from that. It's naturally present in all of us and we have to become aware of it. We don't need anybody to tell us. We know. We know what is right. We know we have to control ourselves. We know that when I make somebody happy through my actions or my words, I become happy. We know that when I give to others what I want others to give me, I am at peace and experience joy. A mature person is aware of order, of disorder, and keeps a constant, uninterrupted relationship with the Lord. As a result, his or her life is nothing but value. Value is natural. You value the value. And we will value the value only when our mind is in harmony with the cosmic order, or what we call Ishvara, or the Lord. I just introduced some Sanskrit Vedantic language here for all those who enjoy it. Did you understand? Could you follow me? Thank you. Now, did you know that karma goes side by side? It's interrelated with dharma. Did you know that? Karma and dharma. Dharma, karma. What is karma? Oh, that law, Swami, right? I better do what is right. Otherwise, karma will follow me. That's what we know. And guess what? It's true. It's true. Karma in reality means action. And also means the result of action. And the result of action sometimes is seen. That is called drishta in Sanskrit. And sometimes it's not seen. Adrishta. You don't see it. Yet you know that by doing good actions, there is a result. Karma phalam is called, the fruit of my actions. That I experience peace. And there is a belief also that you will also go somewhere else, go to a heaven if you do what is right. There is a religious belief. That what is not seen, the result of our actions, when it's positive, it's called punyam. And when it's negative, we go against ourselves. So, you might say, well, is it negative? Well, if it, the result is not going to be very good, especially to yourself. So, yeah, it's negative. It's called papam. One will help you to evolve, to expand, and the other will help you to contract, to shrink. And that is not seen by the human eyes. Yet, it's present, just like dharma, just like the law of gravity. When I help others, I follow dharma, I help myself, I get punyam. When I do the opposite, I compromise, I don't care about others to satisfy my desires, I get papam, which is against dharma. In a way, when we do this, we are abusing our free will. We are going against dharma. So we have to make use of it, the best use of our free will. We have to make the right choices in our lives. But wait a minute, I will give some kind of advantage to my fellow being. You do what is right. Just follow your heart. On one side, we have actions It's called karma. On the other side, we have the right action, dharma. Or the opposite. We have action and adharma. And everything depends upon our free will. We are free to choose. Based on that order alone, is what we experience as karma. The law of karma, with the other side of it, the law of dharma. If we conform, if we comply with the law of dharma, it's good karma. As simple as that. In ignorance, you may think that I am strong and that I can get whatever I want anyway. I can get away with anything I do and make those who follow dharma fools. I fool everybody. I don't care. I'm strong. But by doing that, you are making a fool of yourself. You can see how the law of dharma converts itself into the law of karma. The law of karma is the other side of the coin of the law of dharma. The law of dharma is the other side of the law of karma. If there is no law of dharma, there is no law of karma. Yep. Think about it. Therefore, I need to conform, to comply with the law of dharma, whether I like it or not. Inevitably. And what do? No, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. That's for religious people. I don't believe in any God. Really? You experience God all the time. But the innate perception, that knowledge that is within you, this is right, this is wrong. Dharma is a practical guide for living a meaningful and fulfilling life. Dharma is like a matrix, a mold of norms that forms the basis of one's interaction with the world. Since I am a conscious being with the freedom to choose, I need to have that mold, that structure, that matrix, as a base for all my actions. In navigating the fulfillment of my desires expressed through actions, I can go wrong, clearly. I can go against myself. Therefore, I need order. And that order doesn't come from outside. It comes from within you. These are values. Values which are common, universal to all. To you, to me, to everybody. What if people don't want to follow this order? Well, there are many people who just don't care. I hope you do. We don't want to go there. Not to follow Dharma is self-destructive. Not honoring Dharma is going against yourself. the pressure that we experience when we try to fulfill selfish desires makes the person go against this dharma, going against the law. That pressure that you feel when you entertain a desire, and at any cost, I want to do this, I want to do this. Well, what about the others? I don't care. You may say, but that's also natural, Swami. Yep. But what is also natural is coming from within you. When I go against dharma, I steal, I hurt somebody, I cheat somebody, so that I can still fulfill my desire. It is nothing but an indicative that the person needs literally to grow up. I know. Say, grow up. It is an indicative. It is a sign of immaturity. And we are surrounded by both mature and immature people. And mature people need to know better. We should try to deal with others with compassion and understanding and respect. And also set boundaries. That is wrong, my friend. You don't cross this line. Because it's wrong, and you know it's wrong. The self-conscious being, all of us, we all need to mature. And many people we are all still in the process of growing. That is why one should not wait until you get too old, to become a grown-up person, a grown-up human being, self-conscious being, to become aware of this. You have enough experience already. Don't wait. Process this today itself. Let's honor Jesus' sacrifice for all of us. There is something very interesting about following this law. One gets the feeling of being good with oneself. It's a good feeling. There is self-esteem, self-love. One knows you are doing what is right, and that itself is very fulfilling. We always judge our actions in terms of success and failure. But if we understand that self-esteem we gain by practicing Dharma will give us a sense of well-being, the sense of success will always be present. Therefore, my whole growth lies in understanding this. And when I understand this, I understand attitude. Because it's all about our attitude in life. Learn to like what you don't like doing in the present, so that you will do what you like in the future. Sometimes life gives us challenges. They are hard to accept. Yet, looks like it is a challenge before us. God's manifestation is, in my conformity to Dharma, gives me a sense of success. Whenever we do what needs to be done, we feel good. Whenever we do what is not to be done, we feel guilty. And we all know it. If we comply by the law of Dharma, there will be no guilt. The sense of success will be inevitable. Self-esteem, self-love. We have to establish ourselves in Dharma, in this righteousness that is an expression of God. Dharma in our hearts. Enthrone Dharma in your hearts. Dharma as a human aspiration is the means to a goal. Every human being should have that commitment. Because we are self-conscious beings. We have a huge responsibility in this world. In our lives, in Vedanta, from our scripture this is coming, we have the Purusharthas, the goals for every human being. The very first goal we talk about is artha, security. We want to feel secure. It's natural, innate in all of us to feel secure, and we work for that security. We all know this is Vedanta basics. Once we have that security in our lives, we have to work for that. We want to enjoy life. Little do we know that we are enjoyed by life if we don't have Dharma. So usually we experience life and our first goal is security, pleasures. Let me enjoy life. You only live once, right? Dharma goes first. First things first. First, listen to your values. Listen to who you are. First is the right attitude. Then artha and kama. Then security and pleasures. You have the opposite. You need laws everywhere. The laws will come from outside. No, sir, don't do this. No, sir, this is wrong. Go to jail. The natural law, the self-control impulse is coming from within. And that is Dharma. First thing first. If Dharma is first, the society is going to be fashioned with a structure which is conducive for the accomplishing of that primary value. The prime value, the value of values. Dharma is the premium to be accomplished. But don't get me wrong. Artha and kama are also important. Security and pleasures are important because we are human beings. But these are secondary. They are subservience of Dharma. It cannot be otherwise. If it is otherwise, look at us. We need lots of laws to control us. And still we do. We need them because there are people who don't want to follow Dharma clearly. The control mechanism comes from inside and not from outside. No law and order is necessary for a person who has a commitment to grow into a life of Dharma. There will be this natural Samanya Dharma, the universal and common duties and ethical principles that are applicable to everyone, regardless of differences, social status, or stage of life. There will be a natural Dharma, Samanya Dharma, the universal order. The universal order, which is very critical for every human being to live and lead a life with purpose. If you follow Dharma, Dharma will protect you. That angel that we all have will be with us all the time. That is the sense of security we experience when we hold on tight to what we call God and His law. I protect the law protects me. One's own karma, the right action, one's own dharma. Swakarma, swadharma. Swakarma, swadharma. Dharma itself is an end to be accomplished through our right actions. Do you want to listen to a story?
Sure.
And with this, I hope the message is conveyed. Do you know the story of the butcher? It's a very well-known story, but it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. A Brahmin, sannyasi, a monk. This is a story of a young sannyasi who went to the forest to meditate. He meditated, he worshipped, and practiced yoga for a long time. After years of hard work and practice, he was one day sitting under a tree when some dry leaves fell upon his head. You know. He looked up and saw a crow and a crane fighting on the top of the tree, which made him very angry. Interesting. He was meditating. Does it ring the bell? He said, "What? Dare you throw these dry leaves upon my head?" As with these words he angrily glanced at them, a flash of fire went out of his head. Such was the yogi's power, and burned the birds to ashes. Like that. That's the power of meditation, you guys. He was very glad, almost overjoyed at this development of power. He could burn the crow and the crane by a look. After a time, he had to go to the town to beg for his food. He went, stood at the door, and said, "Mother, give me food." It's very common in India, especially in ancient India, that the sannyasis or monks would beg their food. Still today, in certain places. Not everywhere anymore. A voice came from inside the house, "Wait a little, my son." The young man thought, "You wretched woman, how dare you make me wait? You do not know my power yet." While he was thinking thus, the voice came again, "Boy, don't be thinking too much of yourself. Here is neither crow nor crane." Oops. He was astonished. Still, he had to wait. At last, the woman came, and he fell at her feet and said, "Mother, how did you know that?" She said, "My boy, I do not know your yoga or your practices. I am a common, everyday woman. I made you wait because my husband is ill, and I was nursing him. All my life I have struggled to do my duty. When I was unmarried, I did my duty to my parents. Now I am married, I do my duty to my husband. That is all the yoga I practice. That is all the yoga I practice." What is that yoga? Dharma. Do what is right. Simple. But by doing my duty, I have become illumined, I suppose. Thus I could read your thoughts and know what you had done in the forest. If you want to know something higher than this, go to the market of such and such a town where you will find a Vyadha. A Vyadha is the lowest caste of people in India who used to live as hunters and butchers. This man will tell you something that you will be very glad to learn. The sannyasin thought, why should I go to that town and to a Vyadha? Like, ooh. You know, sannyasins think so high of themselves. But after what he had seen, his mind opened a little. So he went. When he came near the town, he found the market, and there saw at a distance a big fat Vyadha cutting meat with big knives, talking and bargaining with different people. The young man said, "Lord, help me. Is this the man from whom I am going to learn? He is the incarnation of a demon, if he is anything." In the meantime, this man looked up and said, "Oh, Swami, did that lady send you here? Take a seat until I have done my business." The sannyasin thought, what comes to me here? He took his seat. The man went on with his work, and after he had finished, he took his money and said to the sannyasin, "Come, sir, come to my house." On reaching home, the Vyadha gave him a seat, saying, "Wait here," and went into the house. He then washed his old father and mother, fed them, and did all he could to please them, after which he came to the sannyasin and said, "Now, sir, you have come here to see me. What can I do for you?" The sannyasin asked him a few questions about the soul and about God. And the Vyadha gave him a lecture which forms a part of the Mahabharata, called the Vyadha Gita. It contains one of the highest flights on the Vedanta philosophy. When the Vyadha finished his teaching, the sannyasin felt astonished. He said, "Why are you in that body? With such knowledge as yours, why are you in a Vyadha's body and doing such filthy, ugly work?" "My son," replied the Vyadha, "no duty is ugly, no duty is impure. My birth placed me in these circumstances and environments. In my boyhood, I learned the trade. I am unattached, and I try to do my duty well. I try to do my duty as a householder, and I try to do all I can to make my father and mother happy. I neither know your yoga, nor have I become a sannyasin, nor did I go out to the world, into the forest, out of the world into the forest. Nevertheless, all that you have heard and seen has come to me through the unattached doing of my duty, which belongs to my position. What is the model? We all play a role in life. We all made our choices in the past, and we find ourselves in our present. You already embraced certain responsibilities. They are called duties. Right? These are responsibilities. You know you have to do that. Otherwise, you have to pay the consequences, right? That, my friends, is your field of yoga. That is the field for you to practice Dharma. Very basic, yet people oversee it. People just want to meditate and gain some powers like the yogi and become great. But life is easier than that. It's very simple. You just learn to love what comes to you. It's an opportunity to know yourself. This righteousness, which is called Dharma, is like honey to all beings. And all beings are like honey to this righteousness. So with the shining immortal being who is in this righteousness, who is that shining immortal being? The capital Self, what we call God. And the shining immortal being identified with righteousness in this body. This is but the Self. This is who we are. Self-knowledge is the means to immortality. This underlying unity is Brahman. This knowledge of Brahman is the means of becoming all. Know Dharma and know yourself. Thank you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that outer world is Purna, full of divine consciousness. This inner world is also Purna, full of divine consciousness. From Purna comes Purna. From the fullness of divine consciousness, the world is manifested. Taking Purna from Purna, Purna indeed remains, because divine consciousness is non-dual and infinite. Om, peace, peace, peace. Happy Easter, everyone.